I think they assume that people who get elected to the legislatures are idiots. They get elected by the people too. Why would any legislature in America want to overturn the counting of votes? They have to get elected by those people too. The notion that some state legislature would be crazy enough to say to their own voters, we're not going to honor the results of the election is ridiculous on its face.
So the idea that we're now discussing, should we have a carve out for the filibuster, just says to me that there is not enough urgency on the part of this administration.
As the Democrats' entire agenda languishes in Congress, Republicans continue to use any means necessary to protect their agenda and their constituents' values. Mitch McConnell just said that it would be, quote, genuine radicalism if Democrats created a carve-out of the filibuster for voting rights legislation. This comes as every Republican voted against the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. McConnell added that, quote, there is no such thing as a narrow exception to the filibuster carve-out, which reminds us of the time in 2017 when McConnell created a filibuster carve-out for Supreme Court nominees. He went on that, quote, the biggest lie being told in American politics in recent weeks has been that the states are involved in a systematic effort to suppress the vote. So while we could spend time bashing McConnell and other Republicans for their heinous views and utter hypocrisy, it's about time we started holding Democrats' feet to the fire even more than we already have.
And I'm not even going to do 50-50 hindsight as to whether Build Back Better or infrastructure first, second, third, it doesn't really matter. I don't see anything right now that suggests that Joe Manchin or Kristen Sinema or anybody else who's hiding behind them is willing to create a carve-out for voting rights.
Cenk noted on Twitter that Democrats are preserving the filibuster so that they have an excuse to not do Biden's agenda on economic issues. Their donors have vetoed anything that would help the average American, and filibuster is the perfect excuse to say there was nothing we could do. Protecting voting rights is one of the foremost issues facing us as 2022 begins, and Republican judges across the country are gutting precious civil rights legislation. 19 states approved 33 laws that make it harder for Americans to participate in their own democracy last year. NYU Law reported that many state legislatures, quote, have proposed and enacted legislation to make it harder for Americans to vote, justifying these measures with falsehoods steeped in racism about election irregularities and breaches of election security. But Democrats could use force to end the filibuster and secure these democracy-saving reforms. If they don't, 2022 will be disastrous. Cenk once again captures how frustrating, maddening, and frankly suicidal this approach is for Democrats, writing that Democrats are playing with fire. If they continue to do nothing, people naturally will not show up to vote. They are risking our entire democracy with their corruption and weakness. It's time that they stop playing by the rules and start playing for us. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.